Still load faster today, hopefully. No, that is not it. Come on. There we go. It's popping up now. Let's go. Let's see. I don't even care if I spelled the title right. Let's see here. So I have those. I should probably go ahead and reorganize these before I start anything. And we're just waiting on everything to just load, I guess. I wish you were on the right side instead of the left. That would really help me. But the left is, yeah. Alright. Welcome in when y'all get in. Welcome in when y'all get in. I think I'm gonna put a little bit under. Let's see what happens. They're all upside down. Grand Rising, welcome in. How are we doing? How are we doing? I don't know why I put you on top of the cups. That's hilarious. Nice. Grand Rising. How we doing? How we feeling? That was fast. Oh man. I'm gonna be multitasking, as always, the entire stream. I figure if I'm just gonna be constantly like in a work mode, I can at least stream a little bit as well with it. Just kind of mash them together. I also have a new service that's in the works. It's one of the first spellwork services I'm going to be offering for a while. I gotta think a little bit more on it, but if people are interested in it, a little bit about it is very strong petition work on your behalf for whatever you're needing. It involves me writing a contract and doing a little ceremony with the contract. I can't go into too much detail because it's something that was put on me to do, and I've done it 2 times already. Both times have seen success. But I do that. There's not. I don't know. I don't know how much it would cost. I don't know the price range for it. But that is definitely one that I'm working on perfecting at this time. So if anyone's interested in sort of like breaking different types of spiritual contracts, or breaking binds, freeing things up, that type of work, feel free to email me, and I will we'll talk more about it there. Because I mean, it's gonna work the same way, but whatever your situation will require is whatever your situation will require. You know what I mean? So that's something that's in the work in the backgrounds for those who are interested in that type of service. And that's okay if you can't donate. That's all right. Why is my brain not working right now? There you are. That's XV. Stop telling me about my Apple account verification. You all literally soft locked me out of my account. What do you want me to do about that? Oh man. But yeah, feel free to ask questions about anything. And if I answer it, I answer it. Some questions I just won't answer because they're just not worth answering. Unfortunately. Okay. I can keep it minimized and type, actually, that's good. What was the last slide, though? I don't remember what the last slide was about. Was that just the intro? Yes, it was. So upright, reverse. Non-existent, okay. I'll begin with it. Let me get this on a more stable part of the bed so it's not like vibrating and jumping up down. Just as let's see here. Let me see what's going on. Because I have a message. You've been wondering if any of your manifestations are coming in and if you've been doing something incorrectly to block them. Well, here's the thing. Every day we're manifesting. A lot of people think that when their manifestations are going to come in, it's going to be like an immediate, instant sign. It's your manifested manifestations have to come in through your manifested self. So first, are you taking the actions that you desire and that you need to take to move forward to that desired reality? Are you sending too much focus on things that aren't allowing you to focus on the reality that you're desiring? All these things matter. Paying attention to signs as well and how the signs make you feel. Again, a lot of people want to focus on like, oh, look at your angel numbers. And even though people look at angel numbers and think that they only mean good things, they also mean bad things. If you're seeing too many of one angel number, it doesn't always mean it's a good thing. It depends on the mood, on the context around you. Sometimes angel numbers can be telling you, hey, you're messing up. Sometimes they can be telling you that you're going in loops and that something needs to change. All these things, it's up to you to really delve deep and know these things, because again, the spiritual community is very delusional when it comes down to the point of thinking that everything's one-sided and that it's one side versus the other rather than being a mix. So they won't really tell you that angel numbers have a bad meaning. They'll say that that doesn't exist. They'll call them demon numbers or whatever the fuck they want to say, which is completely stupid in my opinion. So just really focusing on the signs that you're receiving when you're receiving them to know if you're on the right path or not. Only you deep down will know if you are doing something and it doesn't feel like you're moving forward correctly. Be sure to figure out what you think you should be doing differently to move in that sort of way. It all comes down to how you're reacting and acting within the realm. What's changing in the realm around you and how are you changing or staying stagnant with that as well. Yes, we could put it that way. Always. Just be sure not to overgive, especially in this time of Venus being in retrograde. It can definitely be easy to overgive. It has a lot to do with connections, friendships, relationships, love, emotions, all those things. So just being very attentive to that. Other than that, just keep moving forward within that that balance that you have. And again, just really paying attention to how you feel whenever things are moving. If you're doing things out of panic, or if you're doing them out of like actual and needing to, or just wanting, not needing to, but wanting to, in that sense. I just want to like, I want to resize the text. Why won't you let me resize the text? Bro. I gotta keep going in and out. It's okay. That is okay. You know how to do it like this, it's fine. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing? Welcome in. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Of course, I got you. No worries. I got you. Let's see. day is it? Wednesday? Yeah, I thought so. Alright. Actually, hold on, because I have those, so I can just put those there. Actually, hold on, would I want to do something else, or would that not be good? All depends, I guess. I probably could do one of those. Just to help it, so let me. That's what I gotta do. I forgot about that. Okay. What is Saturn doing? Saturn is here. It's in Pisces. Well. Okay, I gotta go check that because they're right here. Okay, never mind. I actually don't have to get up. Awesome. So I could do that. And then I gotta go check this. Let me check here actually before I go too deep in. Oh, I wish I could see without my whole computer not working. What the fuck? Oh, wait a second. So there we go. That's exactly what I needed. I would assume. But today's okay. So I could wait till Saturday, or I could do that today. But if I did that today, I'd have to go by the time. What the hell? But that's the thing. Oh, okay. So I won't even need. I would need to get. Well, hold on. What? Because if you're saying that, I could just look for that. Then it should be the Chariot or the Temperance. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, be sure to be free to ask, because I'm doing a lot of things just all over the place, and you will just be watching me just do this and not talking. So yeah, but that's not really who I need for this. So I don't really know. I mean, having that would be enough. So what the... So what would I look up to find that? Do I even have that? Grand Rising, Grand Rising. So I'll keep that up. There we go. Alright, so what's going on? You need to go away so I can see. Start 9:30:10. So I've already missed it. I have to do it. No, wait. There's 2 hours. Does it have to be in military time? No, it doesn't. So I missed my chance earlier. That's okay. Alright, I need to... I can't make an alarm. I cannot make an alarm right now. I will just remember that. Or I could do it then too. So there's 2 times I could technically do that. Awesome. How much time does that get me to... Hold on. An hour, give or take. Okay. I could probably do that within an hour. I could probably do all that within an hour. Damn. Alright, well that's gonna be fun. You can just ask any Egyptian god. It's not, Egyptian gods aren't really ruled by planets in that sense. The Greeks had to name them that way, but the Greeks didn't really overstand that whole concept either, nor did the Romans, because what they had and what they got was stolen from the Egyptians, and they didn't really study what they had. They just kind of took it and ran with it. So just whichever one you truly feel called to go with. I mean, of course, some they line up within some degree, but depending on how westernized you want to get with it, which I don't really study westernized systems anyway, because westernized systems are not good at all, to say bluntly. But it all depends, on who you're feeling to call on it at that given time, and if you even know about them. So just studying about it, really. But it doesn't really matter what time or what planet's involved or anything with that sense. You can compare and contrast them for sure, but just which ones you're feeling called to be to be helping you at that time is the main focus. Yeah, definitely get into the astrologies and planetaries of things. If you're wanting to know more of those things, about who to call on, when, and all those things, because they all do align. Every planet has 2 hours per day and 2 hours per night that they appear. Well, I don't think you understand, but the Bible, when they're talking about the Egyptians and the pharaohs, those are actually the Jews, and the peasants are the Egyptians, and that's why whenever they go over with Moses and Aaron, why Moses wasn't allowed to have any sort of walking into the land. It is. I mean, you can. I'm about to break it down for you because you just don't read the Bible. Whoever taught you how to read the Bible or read the Bible to you doesn't know what they're talking about. Because if everyone's going back to the Holy Land, it mentions them both separately. That's what I'm about. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're just trying to spam and get your way to be heard. I'm trying to explain it to you. If you would and listen, I would explain it to you. But if not, I'll just conceal it and let you do what you got to do, because I'm not here to convince you otherwise. You can stay with wherever you want to stay with. I'm not spouting falsely. You haven't even let me say a damn thing, so you don't even know. So you can keep doing whatever you want to do, but if you don't want to be educated, you can just leave. Simple as. And besides, if you've read the Bible, which God and which Jesus are you following? Are you following the true one or the one that Paul made? I'll ask you that then, if you've read the Bible. How many books has Paul written in the Bible if you've read the Bible? I'll ask you a million questions about it that you probably won't be able to answer. Never said the word Israelis. No, the Jesus that Paul refers to is not the same Jesus at all. They are two different entities. You don't know who Paul is. You don't know the Bible. So you just come in here and you've said that I'm wrong when you don't even know what you're talking about. Then why is the Paul why when Paul mentions Jesus, why is he mentioned the morning star, and the morning star being the same thing as Lucifer? Because it's not M-O-R-N, it's M-O-U-R-N. So why would you need to mourn? I'm just asking you that simple question. Did you know that Paul refused to change his name whenever God said so? So he's not even worthy in God's eyes in that sense because he betrayed and disobeyed? Do you know that? Do you know that Paul then changed his name again in the Bible because of the crimes that was put against him? Did you know that? You know that Paul has made up characters in the Bible to persuade his way because everyone else could write books, is because everyone else was close to Jesus and he wanted to tell his version, which is why his versions and his books are all based off of anger and pettiness. It is in the Bible. You just haven't read the Bible. What you've done is you've picked and chose what you wanted, and you've listened to Paul's version instead of the actual entirety. You're probably one of the New Testament kids, which is completely fine. I've got it from reading the Bible. I actually read it because the Bible is not English. It's Hebrewic and Arabic mixed with a little bit of English. Until you know those languages, you don't know how to read the Bible. You don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're messing with. I've walked this path before. I don't make sense because you don't know, and that's perfectly fine. But you're not going to come over here and tell me that I'm wrong when it comes to stuff like that, because I know what's right. It's always these religious kids that want to come out and want to like try and say stuff. They don't know what they're talking about, and that's perfectly fine. They're praising Lucifer without even knowing it, because their God is either Jesus, which isn't even a right thing to say, or their God is the one that made Earth. And the ones that made Earth is Lucifer, because Lucifer is cast down to Earth. Cast from heaven down to earth. And those are the types of people that follow that type of scripture and believe in that. So they don't even know who the fuck they believe in. They think it's a higher power, but as high as they can get is, not even higher than the atmosphere on earth. But, I'm just going to conceal from that individual because they don't want to listen, they don't want to learn, so I'm concealing. That information is now shut off and closed, that door is now locked and sealed. Yep, and there it goes. There's the demonic entity coming out. There it is, the insults, the mental instabilities and whatnot. There you go. Let it out. Let it out. Have fun. That's why we conceal information, because some people can't handle it. They lose their mind. Yeah, I'm sure he will. If that's what you want to believe, I'm sure he will. I'm not gonna disagree or agree. I'm gonna just say, yep. That's the only way to handle it. No. Who claimed to be God? Jesus? If you're saying Jesus claimed to be God, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm really gonna have a whole fiasco. Because if you believe that Jesus is God, Oh my God, you're the. I know who you are. I know what your belief system is now. You believe that Jesus is the only begotten Son, which makes no damn sense because if we are all sons of God, he can't be the only one. But regardless, I know exactly your entire belief system, and this conversation is going to go nowhere, so I'm going to end it right now. I'm not even gonna. It don't matter. I'm gonna let him go. It's okay. I know exactly the belief system. I know who I'm talking to. It's not worth my time. It is not worth my time nor my energy. I'm gonna go back to writing this stuff. What you know, to answer your question, Joe, I don't know. Um, they just came in. They just came in swinging. They just came in swinging, and I'm just, I'm just gonna back up and not respond because they have they got some sort of spirit on them, but it's not a holy one. I'll let you know that much. But yeah, I'm just letting them have fun. I am not involved myself in that. That ain't that is not my position to stay in. I tried to explain my side. I was not able to, so I'm concealing information and just moving on with my life. You know. Nah, not agree to disagree, because that's just being disagreeable. You can't agree to disagree without being disagreeable. I'm just not. I'm just agreeing to my teachings and not involving myself. You know, concealing information to those that are ignorant to it and do not wish to learn. That's the only thing I can do. Um, it is not up to me if I can make if I can make them ready to be revealed to. So if that's the path they want to walk down, cool. Not my problem. But I've done countless hours, months and years of research on this stuff. I know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Unfortunately, you have lost that bet. Because you said that Jesus is God, and Jesus is not God. Jesus is actually the son of Mary and Gabriel, because Gabriel's word and action to her is the one that impregnated her. Jesus is not. If Jesus was God, he wouldn't have had to been crucified. In fact, when he was a baby, he would have been talking, and then he would have just not had to be chased into Egypt, actually, for safety. So, he's not God. Jesus was literally, it says in the Bible, half man, half God, just like all the rest of us. So, you haven't done any research. You've listened to your preacher for like 30 seconds and got delusional off of it. You don't really read the Bible. You just skim through it and take it as what the words are saying rather than what the words mean and what they're trying to explain to you, which is unfortunate on your behalf. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. But you know what? That's on you. You can keep that delusion all day long. I just don't want to have it because that's an illness that you have, and I don't want to. I'm quarantining myself from it. It sucks to know that you study for years and that everything that you study is incorrect, though, doesn't it? But unfortunately, you cannot get one up on me when it comes to that. No, there's no being saved from hell for you, because who you're praising and who you're giving thanks to and who you're idolizing is not who you think it is. Because you're literally talking to a revenant right now. Like, I can baptize people. I can do all sorts of stuff, dude. You don't know who you're talking to. Trust me about this, dude. I have qualifications beyond your means. Jesus can't be a mediator between God and man if Jesus is God. Because if Jesus is God, there's no middleman. So you literally just disproved yourself entirely by saying that sentence. Congratulations. You've just clowned yourself without me needing to do anything. No, I'm just telling you what I did. I got power, dude. I have power because I know the truth. God is a Trinity, not the Trinity that you think it is. Watch this. I'm gonna show him how much power I have. Damn, that must suck. I have so much power that I just did that. Anyway, back to writing this thing. I ain't got time to deal with someone trying to yell at me on the line. That's crazy. They can't comprehend it. Like, you can't look at me with a straight face and say that God is a mediator. I mean, Jesus is a mediator between God and man, and then say that Jesus is God. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I have to remember, a lot of people are on crack, a lot of people are on meth because of how the medicine world is ran, and I have to just let that sink in my system and be okay with it. It's not beyond my comprehension. It's just simply stating there is proof to prove that he's not. If Jesus is God, why did he have to do fleshly things? Because he's man, not God. Simple, point blank. Simple, point blank. It's not rocket science. It's really not. You're just brainwashed. It's okay. But I'm not here. I'm here to break the spell, but if you don't want that spell broken, that's on you. You can keep it. You can keep all of it, because I know where I'm going, and I don't want to go where you're going. What was it even typing? Hold on. Why is it Wednesday? I need to figure this out. Oh, I know why. Never mind. I was just looking up the reason why. Actually, I completely get it, and I already like. You know, it's so funny. It's so funny because yesterday I did something. And whenever I do my Enochian works, I always ask God, like, what do I need to do? What's the next thing I need to do to help you? And then this stuff happens today. And, you know, it's just how it is. It's just what happens when you work with the angels a lot. Things begin to just move in that sort of way. Pieces are being put together now. I understand what's going on, and I'm just, you know, I'll reveal information. I never claimed to be anything. I'm gonna get rid of you as well because you're just trying to instigate. Goodbye. Goodbye. Go somewhere else. We don't like that type of stuff over here. The ones who are full of Christ, the Christians that we tend to get over here are like the exact ones that are not going to make it anywhere because they're doing the exact things in the Bible that says not to do in the first place. Don't press your belief systems on anyone. Don't go over to anyone and say that they're going to be damned. Judge not, lest ye be judged. And now look at all these people being judged now because they decided to come over here and put their 2 cents in and not allow like a very like educational discussion happen. Instead, going around judging and blasphemizing and pointing fingers. Like, come on, y'all. Can we like get it together? It literally says it in the fucking like it says it in the book, but everyone wants to like disagree with it. Like, damn, like y'all read it, but you don't read it, huh? I get it. It's wild, man. Stuff be wild, but you know, again, it's just how it is. You can't be saying that you're gonna go to hell or you're worshiping or anything like that if you have a Christian faith. I don't have a Christian faith. I know who God is. I don't have to need like a Christian faith for that stuff, right? Like, so if you are a Christian or anything that follows within the realms of the biblical text and you're over places judging people and saying you're going to hell for this or XYZ, unfortunately you're going to hell because in the scripture it says if you do that then you're the one that's going to go to hell and the other person's going to be set free because your judgment on them is going to damn them, and that shouldn't be happening out of your mouth because the tongue has the power to bring life and to kill, and if you're going to send death onto someone, then guess who's going to send death onto you? Unfortunate, but that's how it is in the Bible. It literally says it word for word. So I don't know. People gotta read the book a little bit more or something. Shit. I'm not on the king anymore. I'm on the knight. What the fuck? That's why I say, like, I don't care what belief you have. You can keep it. I'm on my path, you stay on yours. It's perfectly fine. We can get together. We can get along. We can have fun, but don't be weird. Don't be like trying to pressure people into doing shit. Don't be instigating. Be instigating. And then even that, like, we'll take it a step further. It's like the whole thing with like don't fall for temptation, where people are like, if you're a healer, prove it. Jesus never proved that he was a healer either. So like, you know what I mean? But you know, don't tell Christians this because they'll fucking lose their marbles because they haven't really read much about their book. They just kind of listen to Paul's teaching and what their preachers give, and their preachers don't even know what the fuck they're getting because they got their education from school. They got it from a college degree, which makes no sense. Why do you need a college degree to know a religion? That's a whole business there at that point, right? Why would you... Moving on. Concealing and moving on. Y'all know. The ones that know. The ones that don't, you'll figure it out. Keep walking the path. What's the foundation of my belief? I don't have a belief system. I don't believe in anything. People always ask, I'm not like you all. I don't believe in stuff. There are things that I know and there are things I do not know. If I don't know them, then I don't worry about it. If I know them, then I know it. Simple as. I don't overcomplicate stuff with belief systems. Yeah, see, I don't mind religion either. I don't really mind it. But again, it's so funny because literally in the Bible, what does Jesus say? For the ones that know, there will be many that come in my name, but yet not know me. And who is that name? Christians, because what was Jesus' name? Christ. It's literally in the script. But they don't see that. They don't see that. And it's unfortunate. I just wish they would like see that so they could understand what's being said and what's being taught and like the business and the industry that they've bought into that's keeping them stuck in stuff. Well, that's why we don't believe in things, Ryan. You can believe in Santa Claus if you want, but there's things that I know that have proven things, and if you don't want to believe it, that's completely fine. If you don't want to know it, that's completely fine, but that's you and your way of existence versus mine and everyone else's, comparatively. What are demons? Demons are just like corrupt angels. Demons are just those who were supposed to be of love that then became those that were meant to be agreeable who became disagreeable. Those that instead of trying to collect wanted to divide instead. Those are basically your demons if you want to have like a simplified version of it. It's just demons are the ones that are disagreeable constantly. Those are the ones that choose to fight and be disastrous rather than maintain peace and be overstandable and allowing things just to be. The ones that are wanting to control and to change things for the sake of their own sanity and their own agenda rather than allowing others to be who they are, what they wish to be. And that could be the best way to define a demon. Demons aren't these like red, impish looking things. Demons are literally just what you're doing, Their energies, when you go further down pipelines, they turn, you can see them as different things, but truly a demon is just a disagreeable entity. So what am I what? From experience? From source itself? What do you mean, what source? Every source comes from one source. It just depends on you as an individual, how well you're able to understand it. We're all connected to the same thing. Some of us are closer, some of us are further apart. My teachings come from the source of truth. I put aside my ego and I don't have a belief system for that exact reason, because if I have a belief system, I have something to cling on to. If I believe something is going to happen and it doesn't, I'm going to fall within detriment. If I don't have a belief system and just allow things to be, it's not going to have any detriment because it's just the way it's supposed to be. So I come from truth, not an ego, not a rational self. From totality, from wholeness. And that's kind of hard for some people to like digest because everyone's used to asking like a belief system. But it's at the end of the day, I do not. There are things that I know and there's things that I don't know. And the things that I do know that I've witnessed and experienced in life, I keep those, and everything else is just, what it is. Grand Rise and Destiny. Welcome in. That's interesting, Joe. You put them to the test. You put them to the test. But that's kind of what you got to do. You have to test every spirit that comes along. You really do. I always do my best to test a spirit. What is that saying? Oh, never mind. I don't know why it was like that. Anyway. Word. That's understandable. That's understandable. I don't really go to like any more like churches or anything. I've gone to a lot of them, and I've just developed my own sort of way of being. Well, there's not really hate out within the world. The hate comes from within inside of yourself, because you can't really see any form of hate unless it's rooting from you. You can't see anything unless it's coming from you. That's literally how life works. So if you have a lot of hate in the world, there's a lot of hate within yourself that you're needing to like work through and to move past. Because you only will attract what you resonate with, you know, good, bad, ugly, and beautiful. So if there's something that you disagree with, it's because you're bragging it into yourself because you need it. So what do you need from it? You know, do you need a lesson, or do you need to stay within it? Is the question that you have to ask yourself, and then move accordingly. And of course, the world is neutral. The world is completely neutral. There is no good or bad in this world. One's man pain is another man's pleasure. Fully and truly. That's why everything's neutral. You can't say everything's good or everything's bad, because someone's going to look at that and be like, well, what about this? What about that? You know? It's all opinion based. The only truth is that it's nothing. Until you define it as something, it's nothing. You're negative leaning. Nothing's negative leaning, it's just you. You're just a negative Nancy, and that's okay. If you want to be that way, that's fine. But like, if you don't want to be, you should shift that mindset a little bit. And besides, negative does not mean bad. Everyone wants to say negative means bad. It doesn't. This world has two poles: optimism, pessimism, not negative and positive. That's a different thing. It's messing with energy and electrons and neutrons, neurons, and all sorts of stuff. We're talking about pessimism and optimism. That's what we're worried about. People want to say positive and negative. That's not it. Bro, oh my god. I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna talk to you about that. Wanna know why? Because I don't fall for bait conversations like that. It's a neutral thing. You wanna know why it's a neutral thing? I'm not gonna tell you, unfortunately, because you can literally Google it and find your answer. And just go to Google and look up why was 9/11 good, and then you'll literally get your answer right there. It's a thing. You just don't want to do it because it looks weird. Shark bait. That's good. I like that. That was a good one. That got me laughing today. Why is today the debate day? Why has today been the day that people want to come in and start doing stuff like that? Why is, I'm not complaining. I'm just curious more than anything. I'm just curious. Is just that like the gist? Is that the test today? Because I'm having a fun time with the test. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a damn good fun time with this test. But if you don't have a real source, it means you're randomly picking from other sources. Not necessarily. Word. Remember, my glass is just half. It's nor half full or half empty. It's just half because it's compared to what, you know? What am I trying to compare it to? Well, the level in the glass, and it's just half. Yeah, I mean, you want to jump down into it, we can, because we've had a lot of If you've looked at the Schumann resonance the past few days, shit's been going crazy. We've had a lot of timeline leaps. Venus is in retrograde. God, like, what else is going on within the astrals? There's just a lot of shifts and changes happening, and a lot of entities and energies want to drag people back down to the past to keep them stuck in these, like, icky, gooey cycles of just, like, being stuck in muck or being stuck in lower vibrations. So it's really just a battle between the spirits, seeing which spirit's stronger and can, like, withstand themselves more. Yeah, we've had a lot of solar storms. See, that's the thing, though, Jennifer. I'm not even spiritual. I don't even, like, call myself spiritual anymore because of how, like, messed up that word's become. Like, it's like, so it has so many definitions now and so many things that I just, like, stay away from it at this point. I'm just living life at this point. That's all I want to do. I don't want to overcomplicate it with labels and stuff. So people come at me all the time with that, like, are you religious? Like, no, then you must be something else. No, I'm just living. I don't have to be anything more or anything less. I just want to live. Everything else, I've gone through the cycles. I've lived those paths. Those paths are fun. They're cool. I want something different. I just want to live. I want to know what I know. I want to learn. I want to stay up to date, and I want to leave. That's all. That's my plan. Period. As long as you know you're going the right way, that's all that matters. Because here's the funny thing. Just because you don't agree with someone's life doesn't mean they're not going the right way. You know what I mean? Everyone's doing what they have to do for the right reason, or they wouldn't be doing it. Now, are they listening to that inner voice and following it? That's for them to decide, and not someone else, right? So if you're following your inner voice and you know what you're doing, then you're going the right way. Congratulations. If you don't know where you're going, you might need to find something to help you move in the way that you're needing to. No other person can judge you because we're all going different places when we die. No two people are going to the same place. We will experience it differently the same way as Earth. Your blue is my green. When we go into the spirit room and we're died, I'm going to see something different. You're going to see something different, but we're going to be right next to each other. It's a whole thing. So, and even then, I might not even be there with y'all. I might be somewhere else, and you might be somewhere else. It's a whole thing. Nah, it won't cause any problems. We're good. It will. I don't want to summon that person in, so I'm not even going to say what I was about to say, but I'll get the animal deck real quick. Wait, hold on. What animal deck do you want? I'll get both of them. And I'll ask them then. I have two. Where are they? Well, shoot. Where's one? Oh, they're literally right in front of my face. Awesome. Okay, what animal deck do you want? Because I have both of them. Were you wanting the animal spirit ones, or do you want the other ones that are like black and white? But you know, whichever one you want, I can do that for sure. It don't matter. Either of them. Black and white one. Got you. I'll pull one out. Can you not get stuck on my elbow? Oh my lord, why y'all flipping around so much? Let me just draw one from the middle. These cards are so slick. I've had them forever, and they've just kept the same slickness. I don't know how or why. It's crazy. So we have Giraffe Reflection. If you're facing a difficult situation, do not rush into making a decision. You are advised to turn the problem around in all possible manners before deciding on a solution. Your circumstances need to be examined carefully. That is your little animal card. Oh my god. I got a finger infection. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, this is an infection. It's warm. It's like a mild infection. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. See, we can speak telepathically. It's just not everyone's up to date with that. You better be healing. That just hurts. Word, that's what's up. Welcome in, welcome in. I've worked on this PowerPoint for like 3 days. 2 days, almost. Well, 2 days technically. It's almost finished. Yeah, anyone else have any questions, anything at all? Today's been very eventful. Nah, I haven't found a place yet for that. I haven't found a place for the card printing and stuff yet, unfortunately. I've kind of put that on the back burner for as of now, until I can get some other stuff. That reminded me though, I need to do that. I need to talk about that service again because I have a new service, but I don't know all the full details of it yet, like the pricings and stuff for it at this time. But it's a different way of contacting the spiritual courts that I've been doing for a few days, or for a while, I should say. The past few days, though, I've been getting a lot of feedback of things moving forward and things working out, and I've gotten proof myself that things are moving forward for those that get it. But I basically just write a petition based off of what you're wanting the spiritual courts to handle. And please know what the spiritual courts are before requesting this service, because the spiritual courts are not to just ask a simple question to. This is to like remove and to help like move you forward and to get blockages removed for this service. And I write a petition, I do a little ceremony ritual with it, and then that's basically it. But it involves a lot of sigil work and all sorts of things. But if you're interested in that, you can email me, and we can talk about that as well. It is I've literally, the days that I do it, even like even when I rose this rising, I was extremely dead. Like I was exhausted, but it was because I spent all night in the astrals talking about the stuff. So it works. One of my friends who was having issues, they ended up getting a job interview that went really smoothly yesterday. So it works. I've gotten a lot of feedback from it. I don't know the time frame from when it works, but so far it's been 1 to 2 days after that it seems to be clicked in and working. But if that's a service that anyone is interested in, feel free to email me about it and we can talk about it there. Because it is a very interesting thing. And my ancestors and angels kind of just put it onto me a while back, and I was like, you know what, I might as well do that, and it does work. The only thing that's really required is just your full name. That's really it. But other than that, your full name and like what you're desiring the courts to do, and then I send it straight to the courts like that. So it's very interesting. Oh wow, so I'm already finished with this. Nice. No more PowerPoints after this last paragraph. Thank God. Can move on to other things. I don't know what you said, unfortunately. I do not speak that language. My apologies. Not apologies, but well, whatever. I already said apologies. And I do divination as well before doing anything. It's not just like you email me and I do it for you. I'm working on my tarot classes. I'm working on a PowerPoint for my tarot classes. That are about to well, the main meat of the class, rather except for like the symbology in it, are about finished. Of course, no problem, Laura. but the tarot classes are almost at the point where I've been wanting them at. It's been a long 3 months of work on this stuff. And there's still even more I need to add to it, because this is going to be something I'm going to probably be adding onto for like the next fucking year. Probably more than that. But yeah, tarot classes are $250, and you can split it up into payments. But it's done on Google Classroom, and it's just a bunch of like PowerPoints and a little bit of quizzes, some cards, eventually, and some videos as well. Eventually, we'll be doing like class calls or something. I don't know if Google Classroom allows that or not, but we'll figure something out with that. And thank you for stopping by and being here. I genuinely enjoy what I do. It is very fun. So I really don't have any complaints about it. I wouldn't be doing anything that I don't enjoy. I'd switch it up in some sort of way to make it enjoyable. What time is it? 11:22. What time is that? 3:42. Okay, so I got time. Well, sleep well. Sleep well. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, I have one more to write after this. What am I talking about? I have one more other paragraph to write. I'm jumping the gun. What else is there to write down? Do I have this? Okay, I do. Let me go back to this. this is the last paragraph. Let's go. I don't like PowerPoints. It is a simple way of doing this. I could just do it another way too, but like I don't. I appreciate that, thank you. Love that. I said appreciate again. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, that's basically everyone. We're all kind of just waiting for that to come down. There we go. PowerPoint complete. Thank God. Awesome. I no longer have to worry about this one. It is done. On to the next one. What other one do I have to do? Oh, God. Yeah, that's awful. That is awful. I can definitely relate with that on degrees. Sometimes that just happens. You know, sometimes we feel like we're going in a direction that is suitable for us. And other times we walk that path because we feel like it's our only decision, and then we end up getting that I guess demise, you could say, if you will. Well, hell, see, that's the only thing you can do. That's the best thing that you. Well, that's not the only thing. That's the best thing that you can do is just claim that everything else is going to be good. You learned your lesson. Don't beat yourself up over it. You made a mistake. That's okay. What do I need to do differently? And who knows? Maybe the thing that you did has just like given you lessons, taught you how to do things and skills that you need for the path that you need to be on. You know what I mean? Nothing happens by mistake, regardless. So, you're handling it the best way. Completely. So congratulations on that, and best luck and wishes on your path moving forward, because I know how that can be. Aw. Well, that's good to know. Awesome. Sorry. I was looking at my water on my altar. It is being accepted. It has bubbles in it. I'm happy. I don't even have an altar. What am I talking about? Nightstand. Of course, no worries. We're all going through something. The best thing that we can do is just be there to support each other spiritually. It makes more emotions than you think. What? Huh. Well, that's really cool that just popped up in my, okay, well, wow, I guess I need that. Cool. I don't even know why I just got emailed that, but sure, I'll take it. That's kind of funny. It's actually really funny. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end it here and then come back in like an hour or so. Actually, do I need to start come back in an hour? Would I even be able to do that? Because it's 11 now, so I'd have to come back at like what? Because if I came back in 2 hours, that'd be 1. And I'd only be able to stream for another hour at that point because I need to do that thing. How am I gonna do this? Let me think. Before I say anything. Welcome in, welcome in. I'll probably just stay on for longer than right now then, actually. I just won't get off then, actually. I'll stay on for longer. Because the time frames would not work out at all, like, with what I'm trying to do. So, I'm just stay on for longer. I can't leave just yet. But welcome in. If y'all have any questions or anything, play them on me. If I don't know the answer, I just won't know. If I know them, I'll do my best. As per usual. But that's the thing, I don't have... Do I have? Okay, so I do have that. I did write all those there. Awesome. What are you talking about? There's not really context with what you're giving me, so I don't really know how to answer, like, the question that you have. I could probably double up with you then, because that's what I need to do. I need to double up with both of those. Because it's... Wednesday. Do I have one? I have to make one, don't I? Really? No, wait, I swear I have one. I swear I have one. There's no way I don't. I guess I don't. What the fuck? I have to make a whole new sigil. That's perfectly fine. No, I don't. It's right here. I'm so silly. But that's not the one that's not gonna really help me. I have to make a new one. Damn. That's okay. That is okay. Let me see here. I'll keep you there for later. Well, in a spiritual sense, if you want to spiritualize it, the reason why someone would be in your energy destroying things around you and making you pay for it is because of a possible guilty conscience that you have of things that you've done in the past. That, or you're very self-sabotaging and you're needing to set up stronger boundaries between allowing past events and allowing things outside of you to make you feel bad for your own actions. So to implement that on the physical, set a stronger boundary between whoever's, the son that's doing that, by not paying for the things that they're breaking, making them pay for it, setting that boundary strict with that, because there is this overgiving, this lack of self-respect that comes with breaking objects within spirituality. If someone is coming into your energy and breaking things around like that, it's because you yourself on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, allows that for whatever reason. So strengthening up that boundary will be a benefit for that. No worries. No worries. Okay. Well, that's weird. Well, that double audio is happening, but that's fine. I'll just let the double audio exist, I guess. There's not much I can do with that. So, is that even a good idea to do? Where's my coin? Do I need to involve that? Okay, well, that is what I need to do. Yeah, you can email. Just don't, please don't spam or like put me into email chains, because that is the quickest way for me to block your email and for you not to have contact with me. So no email, no spam chains, because I'm just immediately gonna block you. But you can email me at any time. I've been put into so many, and I just have to like, I don't. Um, that's not my forte. I didn't consent to it. I don't want it. Google has a certain amount of space for emails, and I need to keep my email space. Yeah, that's like, I don't get it. I mean, I do, but it's whatever. Yeah, those still go on. What do I know about tree spirits? What do you want to know about tree spirits? I know some things. I've worked with trees before. Goodness. There's no mods today, so I gotta do all the mod stuff. Let's go. It keeps me on my feet at least. That's all I care about. Okay, so how are you fully working with the trees? Because there's multiple ways you can work with the tree in like a shamanic way. Really, just working with trees itself is a shamanic thing. So what are you desiring with having the connection with the tree? It's not that you're new to the spiritual thing, it's just that you're just becoming aware of it. We're all spiritual at the end of the day. That's just something that people really have to grasp whenever they're put into spirituality, or put into it. They don't they think that spirituality is like, oh, someone's doing magic on me. No, that's not it. That's just what we live in. Spirituality is just actualizing who you are and being yourself, which is a living spirit. People aren't like people got a weird, twisted, convoluted way of spirituality when it comes down to the basis of it. And I don't know where it comes from or how, but, well, miscommunication and uneducation, and people not listening to elders. So the elders don't even fucking talk anymore because they'd rather conceal because no one listens, and they want to be like, no, it's this way. But so I get it, but we're all spiritual beings having an experience within flesh. We are unrestricted beings having an illusion of being restricted, and it's just up to us to really remember that and work with the realms of ourself, breaking our own matrix and the thought patterns that we have that limit us, any limiting belief or any limiting way of existence. Is, listen, if spirituality was about magic, not, I don't think there'd be that many people that wouldn't be in the spiritual game, because there are people who do magic that are not spiritual, but at the end of the day, right? So it has nothing to do with magic. It has even less to do with energy than people want to think. But again, I don't know, people will mix the 3D in with the intangible to make sense of it, which is fair, but that doesn't do it justice for what it truly is. Energy is just a function of this realm. It's a part of physics, it's a part of metaphysics even. So it's not even that it's a spiritual thing. It's about it's about so much more. But people are walking up the ladder eventually. They'll climb it at some point. Hopefully. 'Cause we gotta stop thinking that magic is like a spiritual thing. Everything's a spiritual thing. Magic is literally just the internal to external relationship of what you're desiring to do and how it affects those around you. And energy is not like a bad thing, negative or positive. It's like whether you're giving or receiving. Receiving being negative and giving being positive. We're literally just conductors. That's all we are. Not only in the sense of like conducting our own life, but conducting literally energy internally and externally. Yeah, don't get stuck with that tunnel vision. It can get very blurry. It's very interesting and fun to go down that rabbit hole, I will say, because I've gone down it. But it then becomes this very confusing, diluted mess where nothing makes sense. And no matter what you're doing, it's not quite making sense. And then you delve into chaos theory and the butterfly effect. And then it's like, well, it's not happening because XYZ, and that's okay. But in actuality, it could happen. You're just not doing the right thing. Yes, you can build friendships and connections with trees. That's a very possible thing. Not even just from a shamanic point of view, but just from like a native, an ancestral point of view. You can befriend plants. You can befriend trees. They are our friends by default. It's just up to us to make connections with them. You know, they're waiting on us to do things, and we're not doing those things. So how can, you know what I mean? So then we'll go like, oh well, we can't do it, but you can. It's like these trees, these plants that we're around, the buildings that we're around, everything wants to talk to us, but we have to go to it and be open to hear it, and not be ashamed or afraid of like what people are gonna think, because it's always trying to talk to you. Everything's always trying to talk to you. You just have to tap in and listen to it. Truly. How will you free them? You can't. You can't do anything. That's the one thing. You can advise and you can persuade, but you can never force the horse to drink. You can be a guiding light for that individual, but you can't free them. It's up to them to be freed. You can only show them through your own actions of living and being and existing what that freedom would look like, or how to change the behavioral habits. Is the path to enlightenment lonely? No. If you go to the wrong people and talk, yeah, they'll say it is. It's not. The path to enlightenment is to know that you're not alone, but you loan this body. You are a twin individual. You are two within one, making you three. You are both the body, the spirit, which is also the mind, and the soul. If you look up the origins of spirit, it's literally mind. The ancients knew that the brain was the spirit, as it's the one that's generating and moving through us. It is the soul that stays seated within the heart, and both of those are within the body. So it's not a lonely path. It's only lonely to those that aren't actually enlightened. You're never alone. You are just loaning this vessel to learn lessons so that you can report back to mother and father when time is ready. And everyone else will be like, no, it's a lonely path. It's not. You just have to overstand and actualize that you're not alone. The fact that you have thoughts in your head and you can talk to those thoughts and they will respond back to whatever you say proves that you're not alone. You can't argue with yourself. You're arguing with someone else that's part of you. You know what I mean? Like it's these things that people don't really actualize when they're spiritual, and that's the whole like brain blockage on a lot of people where they're not being told these things or taught these things. Mainly because it's a lost thing, and it keeps people docile and civil when we don't need to be civil. We need to be sovereign and actually be sovereign, and not just say that we're sovereign, because people will say that, oh, I'm sovereign. No, you're not, because you know what the word sovereign means. If you're not fully sovereign, then you're not sovereign. You know what I mean? It's all these things that, like, it's not that it's difficult. It's just it hasn't been taught, and so many people are taught wrong that when they try to get taught right, their first way of reasoning is pushing their own belief systems on someone else and making it seem like they're being egotistical or evil or negative or whatever term they want to throw on it, when in actuality it's just them and their own like functions fighting against each other. Yeah, you should visit it if you're feeling called to. You should, and yes, you can visit it energetically. We can, we can move into the past. We can move into the future. We can do whatever we want with our mind. So really, just get into a meditative state and focus on that tree. Focus on memories you have with that tree, and you can end up contacting it and really connecting to it on that deeper level. It could be that could be like a support tree. That tree could be trying to give you lessons of life. It could be trying to connect you to your roots deeply. It could be all sorts of things. Only you will find out when you make that connection. But you can just go into a meditative state and deeply think and imagine and see that tree and feel the feelings that you had when you're around that oak tree, to receive messages that you weren't at first be able to listen to or obtain at the younger ages. If you can visit the tree in person, definitely do that. Especially if it's like a childhood tree that you were around. There are a lot of them are protectors, because yeah, just be sure to hug the tree. Be sure to put your left hand on the tree and sit down. You can put your right hand at its root and your left hand on its on the bark, and do that. As well, you can add your saliva to that tree. That's a lot of ancestors and ancients used to do that to help it connect, so it can remember you, and not only just remember you, but to connect you with that tree as well. It adds an energetic connection to you and the tree, so you can do that as well. You can leave like coins and certain crystals at the tree as well. That's a way to make offerings to it. And if there's any like trash, you can dump water. You don't have to use saliva. You can also just pour water on the tree, depending on how you want to do it, right? And if there's any like trash around the tree, pick it up, like clean around the tree area as well, because that's also a form of respect for that as well. But you can do all those things. Those are some good tips for you to do whenever you're talking with trees. Even with flowers, you can do that stuff with flowers too. And you can do it with whatever, really. It's just about keeping respect. All houses have spirits. Every tree has a spirit. Everything you own has a spirit. It's just about keeping it with respect and control. Yeah, talk to your trees. Your trees will tell you their name. Every tree has a name. And if you talk to a tree, it'll tell you its name. It'll tell you secrets. It'll do all sorts of stuff. It will tell neighboring trees about you, and then you might start getting other sort of trees to talk to you, and that will allow like wildlife to start coming towards you and talking to you. Like in those movies where like someone will be talking to a tree or sitting by a tree, and then all those animals start popping up in the trees and stalking them, that's basically what's going on. Is all the trees are communicating, and then the wildlife gets a hold and is like, well, this one, we can look at this person, look at this entity, like they want to talk to us, they want to work with us, they're they're not here to destroy us, they're here to protect us. So now we can start trusting them, and that you can start building relationships with wildlife that way. It's very interesting and very fun to do. That's why I had a lot of cryptid encounters as a child, because I would always be in the woods and sitting on trees and stuff. And that just ended up me. That is, I guess I was supposed to talk to cryptids as a child, and that just got me to see all sorts of shadow people. I never talked to them, but a few mimics. I just, I just let them do what they had to do. I paid no attention. I locked the door. And I didn't do nothing. Just let them do their thing. I've met like woodland creatures. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Wendigo before. Pretty sure. Not too sure. But I wouldn't doubt it because of my Cherokee heritage. I've definitely probably bumped into a few of them. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, like, just getting that connection with the wildlife is really gonna help you. Especially if you are having like childhood trauma issues and stuff, going back to like your home where you were and connecting to like the plants and the trees and wildlife there, they'll help you clear out those energies as well. It's very interesting how it all works. But always leave an offering. Always say your thanks, even if you don't get talked to, even if the tree doesn't talk to you, spend time and say thank you for spending time with me. And then clean up the area before you leave. Those are a must. You have to, like, that's a respect thing, like, heavily. Eventually the connection will get stronger and they'll talk to you if you're not getting the sort of communication, but you need to show that sort of respect because that's showing that you're trying to actually talk to them rather than definitely. I had a tree friend named Agatha, and she was very, very helpful in my time of need. And I'm not in an area where I can go to her, but I go to her energetically a lot. I did a water offering, I did a spit offering. I left her like $2 in quarters as well. And I turned it into like an abundance, like money abundance tree for a while where I was staying because I needed it. Unfortunately, there's not a tree around here to do that for me. So I can't do that right now, but I talk to Agatha sometimes and it's really nice. Always. I'm here to teach. I got all sorts of knowledge. I just don't know how to talk about it or what to do. So I just say ask questions because there's stuff in here. I just have to like sit down and like coordinate with myself. That's the one thing I'm bad at is being coordinative. I'll always like be sporadic. So I gotta work on that. Bigfoot encounter? Damn. I seen a chupacabra. I had a chupacabra encounter in Wyoming. Well, it was a dead one, but it was an encounter. Okay. It was very interesting. And I've never in my life ever seen anything like it. And it was it was like 3 foot tall. It was very interesting. I'll never forget it. That was probably my very first cryptid encounter was a chupacabra. And ever since then, it's just gone down the loophole. I've seen more like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it. I've just had so many. I've had cryptid encounters with friends that didn't even believe in that stuff, and I made them believe it was on accident. They weren't even ready for it. They thought I was pranking them, and I was like, no, I was on the other side of the woods, and I thought you were pranking me. And it's like, oh, so whatever we seen was real. I was like, yeah, it's just how it is. My house was crazy. I lived like right across from a family graveyard that I would always go there and talk to. I made really good friends with the gatekeeper at that graveyard, and as a child, so I'd always go there and like I'd pay my respects. I didn't know any of the people because it wasn't my family graveyard, but the people that owned it gave me permission to go to their graveyard. I don't know why. I guess they just knew something that I didn't at the time, and I made friends with the gatekeeper, and I gave offerings, and my dad would like mow their lawn and stuff. So we had like an interesting connection with that. I don't think my dad knew that like I was bringing entities home, but definitely I was. I I had a girl named Samantha. I'm not gonna say her last name for like respect reasons, but she's just screaming her last name at me right now. But I had her, I encountered in my house with her, and one of my friends seen that with me, and he flipped his shit and never came over again after that. Um, I've I love it. I've had such a crazy little life. I was cryptids, the demons, angels, ghosts, everything basically. It's just how it is. I do my best to keep the respect within the spiritual realms when it comes to that stuff. But like, I don't know. Oddly enough, over the years, I've learned how to do graveyard magic, so I have knowledge that I don't even act on. It's I can't even, like, if I made a grimoire, I people would learn some very interesting and unique stuff that probably hasn't been done before. Um, I don't know if it has or not. That's why I'm saying probably. But I have interesting experiences, and I get told very interesting stuff a lot when it comes to the realm of magic and the spirit realm. And welcome in. Yeah, see, that's the thing. My family will not let me see my mom's grave, and my dad was cremated, and I didn't get his ashes. So I have to like go weird links to talk to them, but I don't have any sort of like close connection with my passed over family either. So I get that. Only 17 people? Yeah. It's just whatever. Numbers fluctuate. YouTube doesn't put out notifications. No, that's the thing. My sister's got necklaces of his ashes. I didn't get a damn thing. Actually, I did get something. I got the most protection out of all of them because the way that my dad went out was not very pleasant because my sister and her husband and just the whole family, except for my uncle and his wife, made it one of the most traumatic experiences probably of his life, and of mine a little bit for a few months. So he is a huge protector. And for my mom, I can't see your grave, but I have this green dragon of hers, and I always keep it on me. So I have bits and pieces of them, and I talk to them all the time within the spirit realm, and they give me signs all the time. But if I could see my mom at the grave and I could have some of my dad's ashes, I think that my family would probably get the worst like haunting of their life. Not because I would do anything, but just because like they know what's going on, and I could probably sneak my way to the graveyard honestly if I wanted to. But regardless, like just who I am and my life experiences, and because my sisters know who I am, it's like they keep it away from me. They don't want the smoke. And it won't even be my smoke. It'd be the smoke from my mom and dad. It wouldn't even be mine. I don't have a vengeance in my soul. I let them do what they had to do and I moved on. I can't. Your son stole your mom's ashes? Oh my god. Why don't you do ashes? That's an interesting thing. I've never heard of that before. No, see, I used to. So actually, I'm not. So I used to visit my mom's grave. Let me take this back. I used to visit my mom's grave, but it was like within a year of her passing. And it was me and my dad. We would clean up the entire cemetery because that cemetery was poorly taken care of. Like my dad would go there and mow the all the grass, and I would go and pick up like stuff. We would clean up the headstones. We took care of that cemetery. It had some of my dad's family members in it. It had my mom and some of her family in it, and a bunch of other people's family. But we would go there and take care of it. I like one of my dream jobs in middle school was to be a grave keeper. Like I want to take care of the graveyards. Like I know how to. I love doing it. It's not like a scary thing for me. I've literally experienced what the fuck can happen in graveyards. I would like I love doing that stuff. I just wouldn't be a mortician. I mean, I probably could handle that, but I don't want to listen to the death. I've went through that cycle already where I've had to help people transfer from one side of the spiritual to the other, and sometimes even bring people who are spirits back in on Earth and stuff. I've gone through that. It's not a very pleasant experience. That was with some of my workings with Anubis, and that was some of the most exhausting and draining work because of the emotional impact it has. Like, I had to sit there and hear stories that I didn't even think I'd ever hear in my life, and then like pass them on. It was a very interesting 6 months of my life, but I don't think I could go to be a mortician because of that. They would be talking to me too much, and I would probably be crying all day long. I wouldn't be able to handle it. Are you experienced clear into 3D or in the back of your mind? Oh, they're clear. If I have a very interesting brain. I have synesthesia, so foods give me color. Liquids will give me color. I can see color. Whenever I like sound will come in, I'll see color. If I have a memory, the only thing I can't do is rotate an apple in my mind, which is really unfortunate. But if I have a memory, I will literally, like you'll see it, I'll zone out, I'll stare off into space, and I'll literally be there in present time, like in the memory, whenever I'm talking about it. So I have very good recollection when it comes to memories. It's crazy. The only thing I can't do is rotate an apple in my head, which I find it pisses me off that I can't do that. Because it's like, that's the one thing I want to do. But it's like, no, you can't. It's impossible. Um, no, not like auras. I can barely see auras. That's something I'm working on. I see auras of animals better than people, actually. I'll say it like that. If a bird, specifically birds and cats, if a cat has an entity on it, I'll be able to see that entity on the cat. If a bird comes around me, I can see its aura. When it comes to people, it depends. It depends on them. Sometimes they're incredibly bright, and sometimes I can't see them at all. That's really weird. Yeah, the aura is like your color field around you, and you have like I think 13 layers of your auric field. I think it's 13. I could be mistaken. I know it's more than what most people think, though. It might be up in the 20s, but I know there's 13. I don't remember what they're called, but I know there's 13 for sure. And you know, it's interesting. That's okay. No worries. You don't have to worry about that. You know. Um, I'm just doing this for my business, and so I can stay afloat with it. Because unfortunately, the more serious I've taken this business and this route, the it's not. It's actually kind of funny because it's showing me how I'm on the right path. Um, but I've just been getting backlash, and people don't like it, and I've been. It's just been interesting. It has been so interesting. Hmm. I don't know. I've been told I've had different types of auras before. I don't really, you know, I don't really know. There's been a few there's been a few times on streams where I've turned invisible though. Like I've became see-through, which has been really funny. Um oh my god. I'll never forget it either. There was a whole like hour-long video where I was just completely see-through. You could see the bed frame behind me. You could see the painting behind me and everything. Not this one. I was in a different place, but you could see fully through me. And I had people commenting like, "Why are you invisible?" And I thought it was just people having issues on their side. And I watched the video. And no, I was see-through. My whole like my whole torso and head was like see-through. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Okay, I guess I'm invisible this time. It was really cool. You've never experienced auras in your life? It's an interesting thing. Have you worked any on your third eye? Because working with your third eye will help you with that. Um, I did a lot of my third eye work when I was young, like 7, 8, 9 years old. I did it on accident. I didn't know what it was. I always talk about it because I want to remember more about that day. I remember it enough to the point of meditation. And then from there, it's blank. And I need to remember that. Because I was playing some mobile game on my phone. It was like an MMORPG. And some dude in the chat was talking about third eye. Like, open your third eye before it's too late. Talking like that in the chat. And I said, "What's your third eye?" And then a bunch of people started flooding the chat saying, "Don't listen to this dude. He's spatting out bullshit. It's a bunch of fake shit. Don't listen to it." And he said, "Open up your third eye. Like, look up on YouTube third eye meditations." And I never heard. He left the chat. I never heard of him again. I never played the game again. And I looked up the meditation. I was in Florida on vacation at around Christmas. And I laid down on the couch and I did like a full 3 hour my first ever meditation, 3 hours straight on the third eye. And like I just remember my whole body being engulfed in extreme heat, and I went out for the whole meditation. I don't remember what I seen or anything of that nature. I came back to, and about 5 minutes later, my parents came back and we went out to go somewhere to eat. And I want to remember what that meditation was really bad because that was literally my first like awakening. It was a whole experience, and it was probably one of the craziest like divine things I've had happen. Mind you though, prior to that, I was already looking up spell work. I already knew how to do hexes. I was already grave talking to dead people. I was already using Ouija boards. I was already like contacting the dead. I was already like, I was already doing all that stuff, and then that happened. So I don't know. It was very interesting. I wasn't doing anything bad. I just like to learn. And it was funny because when I learned how to do hexes, I was like, I need their hair and a photo of them to do something. I'm too lazy to do that. I'm not gonna do that. So I just decided not to do it. I just learned how to. Which was really funny. That honestly showed my character as a child. I did not want to hurt no one. I was too lazy to hurt people. Dude, this shit takes effort and time, and damn, I can't do that. I ain't got the time. I ain't got the energy for that. So you can't turn it off and on? Not really. Not to my knowledge. You probably can because it's all up to you at the end of the day, but I haven't been able to. You're fine, no worries. But yeah, I was already messing with the spirit realm forever. It's been very weird. And then after that, I went into 13 years of depression. Instantly. Like, it was not fun. I was fully like out of depression at 21 years old. For the rest of the time, it was super severe. So I definitely had an extreme dark night of the soul growing up. But even then, I was still choosing to help people. I was still choosing to like help other people who were going through what I was doing. So it's like it's always been a life path for me. It's just I don't know. It's just been crazy. And then my sister's a witch, but she won't admit it because her and her son do witchcraft, and I know they do. I've seen them do it. Obviously my cousin does it because I fucking watch him all the time do it, but my sister does. She just doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, I had to go to therapy for ever since a childhood because my adoption and the way it was not okay. Um, so I've always gone to therapy, but it never helped me. Therapy always made my issues worse. So I took it upon myself to study like the brain and neuroscience and just figuring out how the mind works and what emotions are and what feelings are and what those triggers and how they happen and working through trauma on that self. So I just took it upon myself to learn it because I wasn't gonna fucking spend insurance money to talk to someone that wasn't even gonna listen to a word I said, and then like say that I was, doing this and that. I wanted to know like why I was doing those things. Like I get it, I'm antsy and upset, but why am I upset? Why am I antsy? Like, oh, I don't know it wouldn't fucking help me. Here's some medicine. No, I want to know what's going on. That's my medicine. Tell me the truth. Stop drugging me. So that's what I did. But I can't complain though. It was very interesting. Yeah, see, they fucked me up bad on medicine. I was like 13 years old, 13, 12, taking like 7, 8 pills a day, like 2 times a day. And one day it snapped for me, and I was like, I'm not taking another fucking pill. I'm only taking melatonin to help me sleep because I could never sleep. I still can't sleep. Melatonin doesn't help. I was on the highest dosage of that, still staying up. Teas and herbals help. So, but at the end of the day, if people need therapy, you go to it. It simply was just not a help for me. I had to go a different route for it. Some people need therapy, and that's perfectly fine. You go do that because that's what you need. Don't let someone tell you you don't need something if you need it. Because if you do need it, you need it. I didn't. I always have to say that when mentioning this, because then some people might take it as like, oh, I don't need therapy either. No, you might, because I went to therapy from like physical therapy does not count. So I was like 11. No, I was 9. I was in therapy from 9 till about 17, 16, 18, around that. No, 17 and 16. Um, I went to therapy from like that long of a period, and it just didn't help. And then I went to therapy again after my mom died because I actually needed it because my family was not helping me. I didn't have anyone around me to actually like help me cope with things. And it wasn't that I was distraught. I just needed to actually talk to someone. So my old therapist that I had when I was 16 and 17, I met her at Rite Aid one day randomly, and she was like, "How are you? How's your parents?" And I told her like, "Yeah, my mom died." And she was like, "If you ever need to come to therapy, just message me and I'll get you in." And I was like, "Okay." So I just went there to talk to her for that. Yeah, I get that completely, Soundwave. That's how it was for me. I went to rehabilitation centers like twice because of it. Like I had to. Like I didn't. I was one to ask for help, but I was the person to ask for help but didn't get any. Unfortunately, I would ask for help and I would be ignored. I literally had to like call my dad and threaten to off myself if I didn't get sent somewhere at one point because no one was taking me serious. It was really bad. But I got the help that I needed eventually after going extreme lengths. But yeah, definitely. My whole like adoption thing was rough and it was just weird. But yeah, I've gone to therapy a few times. It's perfectly fine. I've took the ropes, and it wasn't even then. Like when I was, I think, what how old was I? I was like 19 when my mom passed. I was yeah, because that's when my depression kicked up again. Because after she passed, I didn't know what to do. Yeah, so I was 19, and I wasn't really going there to like vent. I was just there to work more on what I needed to work on. And even then, my therapist was like, "You don't even really need to be here anymore because you know what you need to work on. You just need to work on it." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, but like I need someone to talk to about this stuff before I start working on it because I don't Like, I just need someone to talk to. Like, damn. She was like, okay, I got you. How do you know? I mean, how do you know? Excuse me. How do you reverse spells and hexes that you've never been placed on you? Do you know the type of spell and hex has been placed on you? If so, you can use those same ingredients to unbreak it. Other than that, doing prayer work will help. Doing cleansing baths. Actually, here, let me open up my book. Let me give you an uncrossing. This is for everyone. Get your pen and pencils ready. I'm giving you an uncrossing spell. To help you remove hexes and curses and stuff. Because it works. I've done it. It's really interesting. Not interesting. It's very effective. Sorry, wrong word. I was looking for it. Where is it at? It's after this page, isn't it? It's before that one. No, that's the other thing. Where did it go? It's like 3 ingredients, but I want to make sure I give it to you the right way. And it's not even an expensive thing. It's very inexpensive. It's super inexpensive. Like, bizarrely inexpensive. So don't even worry about needing to spend like $1,000. So all you need is salt, lemon juice, and Psalms 23 and 37. What you're gonna do is pray over the salt, and then put that salt in a pile in your shower. You're gonna stand on top of that salt pile and pour lemon juice on your head, on your hands, your neck, and all your joints. And while doing that, you're gonna pray Psalms 23 and Psalms 37, and visualize all cross conditions or all hexes and curses put on you being washed away. After that, gently rinse off the water. Off the lemon juice. Don't dry your body off fully. Let your body air dry, and then 30 minutes later, go back and take another shower and cleanse all of it off. Effective is interesting, yeah. But that's what you can do for a good removal. I've used that countless times on multiple things, and it works. You might have to do it a few times, for a few days in consecutively, but it will remove it. But if you don't want to read Psalms 37, you don't have to. It's important that you do read Psalms 23. Psalms 37 is an addition. You don't have to read that one, but definitely do. If you don't remember how to recite it by memory, just play it out loud. Just look up that Bible verse on your phone and play it out loud, or do something else, right? But do not, you have to either recite it or have it said to you, regardless. But get to the point to where you can recite it, and it will be a lot more effective. For you personally, because it'd be your voice saying it. You can also recite it while it's playing if you need to. You can say if a sentence or so behind it, that works as well. But it's important for you to just know what you're needing to say based off memory. It helps improve and make spells more accurate and profitable for you. But there's you a good uncrossing. Super cheap, takes not even that much time. It's super easy, super effective. It's super easy. I don't know. I love easy shit like that. It doesn't cost maybe $5, less than $5, but it fucking kicks ass. That's all that matters at the end of the day. I have all sorts of stuff. I have expensive stuff that I can do. I have cheap stuff. I got all sorts of jars. Jar spells you can do. I got cleansing stuff. I got all sorts of shit, dude. Don't mess with me, please don't. I'll stick to the easy stuff, but I have the extremes if I gotta go there. And it's really just, if someone's going through something that I have written down, I can just, reverse it instantly for people too. It's just important. I like knowing stuff. I love knowing different types of spells and shit. I'm dangerous, but I'm not at the same time. Knowledge is power. But, I will never, ever inflict any sort of fucking pain on anyone. It's not worth my time. It's not worth the consequence. I'm okay. I've seen what happens to people like that. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm okay. I'm a visual learner, I don't have to. I don't have to be hands on with it. I'll just sit back and watch. I really am more of a hands-on learner, but when it comes to stuff like this, I'd rather be visual with it. But what a life to live, honestly. It's interesting. But yeah, I used to do spell work with people all the time. I want to bring it back. I really do want to bring. I'm bringing that service. I don't care. I'm bringing that service back. I'm bringing back the spell work service. I don't care. I have to. It's like I miss doing it so much. I see the auras, but you're talking about the Bible. What's going on in here? Well, what's going on in here is the exact thing that's going on in the Bible. You see, Horus is your Jesus in your Bible because it goes back from the Egyptian times, because the Bible was ripped from multiple places involving Sumerian and Egypt at the same time. So it is exactly what you think. It's we are talking about the same thing. Welcome in. Welcome in. I mean, it is. It came from it. It's in the stories. The virgin son with Osiris and Isis. Come on. We know how it is. Osiris could impregnate Isis. Osiris already died. What happened is Isis made an obelisk of his penis and then resurrected him from that, which then gave her the seed of Horus, the untouched woman, the Virgin Mary, the Black Madonna. However, which way you want to say it, comes from those origins, baby. It's just what it is what it do. It's what we're here to see and living and experience through. The Bible is a grimoire. I don't care what anyone says. The Bible will teach you how to... It talks about earth. See, this is the funny conundrum about the Bible. It tells you don't do witchcraft, but it tells you everything how to do witchcraft at the same time. It says, everything on earth that God has put here is for us to use for our health, for our benefit, for our way of life. That's true. Everything comes from plants, all the way down to meth. It comes from plants. Everything comes from plants. It comes from that chemical compound that they have. You can do anything with plants. It teaches you herbalism. It teaches you spell work. It teaches you astrology. It teaches you all sorts of shit, dude. Alchemy. Everything. It's there. It's there. It teaches you how to curse people. It can teach you how to bind people to shit. It can teach you how to unhex yourself. Damn. It tells you in the Bible that you can invoke and summon angels to kill people, dude. And I know how to do it because I have a book that teaches you how to do it. Because I got that information on lock. Would I ever do it? No, but it's a 5-day ritual that you have to go through. It's a 5-day ceremony, that you have to go through. And you have to be highly respected to do so. And I don't think I am at that point. But, it teaches you all sorts of shit. It is a very good resource. That's why, see, that's the thing. When you have this open-minded self where you're not like shitting on religions or shitting on different types of texts, you then just get to obtain all sorts of wisdom from it. Like, it teaches you life. It teaches you things to do within life. It's all these things that, like, you might have questions about, and they can answer it full on. The Bible talks about aliens and shit, dude. It talks about all sorts of shit. So does the Quran. The Quran also talks about aliens. I don't want to hear anyone say it doesn't. I've read it, and I've seen it. Ain't no fucking whale flying in the sky. There's no camel flying in the sky. I don't care who the fuck you are. That ain't no camel. That is a ship. That is a ship that someone is riding on top of. But what did they have back then? Camels and shit. How the hell are they gonna call it a camel? If you didn't know what a plane was, you call that shit a flying car. Ain't no flying. How the hell there gonna be a whale in the desert? Ain't no flying whales. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I've just read this shit. It don't make sense no more. when you read it the way it's saying it, and you're like, you think about the time period. How the hell did this happen in that time period? What could be there? Well, we're talking about the time of Egypt and Lower Egypt before the whole well, during the Crusades and before the Crusades is when it's being written. So it's like, what's going on around this time? Oh shit, they're making like the Bronze Age, the like, not yeah, the Bronze Age, a little bit of the Bronze Age, the gold, some of the Golden Ages there too. Not like the gold, not the California one, but the other one. There's so much stuff, bro. There's so much stuff. But you can do all sorts of stuff. It teaches you all sorts of things. They even teach you how to do, and they even teach you in the Bible how to build your own altar. The tabernacle is an altar. It's like it's your house. It's a house with inside an altar. They teach you the exact dimensions that you need to build an altar. And then if you read Solomon's book, Solomon teaches you how to use that altar with different seals for angels, and even the seal of God that's mentioned. He teaches you all sorts of shit like that. And then you just got to go down the pipelines and read about it. You got to know how to read it first. But once you learn how to read it, and then you'll know what you're looking for, then you can find all sorts of shit. Like, when you start, oh my, I'm not even gonna go down that deep. Not today, not right now. But, my goodness, when you start messing with the Goetics and the Kabbalists, child, those elements are crazy to work with, and I'll leave it like that. I have messed with some of the Goetic demons, not for personal use, but for helping other people. I used to exorcise people by summoning up demons that were attacking them and like basically bullying them into telling me what the fuck they wanted. I've done all sorts of shit. I've invoked angels. I've invoked seraphims and cherubims to like be around in places. I used to have a seraphim that would stay by my door at my old apartment and like protect me at night, and it was probably the scariest but also most calming thing I've ever done, because the first day I did it, my entire room was bright white and there were no lights on, and I didn't know what was going on. Well, I mean, I knew, but I wasn't quite sure that was supposed to happen, so I kind of panicked a little bit, but everything worked out really well, actually. After that, I figured out what was going on with what I was doing. But I've done a lot of crazy shit. You wouldn't believe. I don't talk about it. I don't really. I mean, I do it. I don't do it as much either because I don't have any of the fucking resources to. But I know how to. It's interesting. I'm just glad that I'm not like Aleister Crowley, dude. If I was fucked up from my trauma, I would be a horrible person. I'm gonna keep it a bean. Like if I was not healed, I don't think that I would be considered a safe person with what I know how to do, because it would not be fun. Luckily I'm healed. Luckily I'm healing, excuse me, not healed. And that I'm not like being constricted by that trauma, because good God. Yeah, no. We're not even going to go down that path. We're not going to go down that path at all. For some reason, Lilith is calling you. Find out why. If they're doing any sort, like, how are they calling to you? Because you can sometimes, if they're calling to you through like knocks or like whispers or bangs on your window, you can tell them that you hear them and that they're there and they can talk to you. But if they're calling to you in the astrals, the dream states, or however else, just do your best to connect with them. Yeah, we're all healing together. We really are. That's honestly, I've used a lot of the knowledge that I've learned over the years from the like occult and like the mystics. I've gone through all those schools. I'm done with it. Like the occult school, the school of mysticism, I'm done with those. I'm okay. Like I know about it. It's cool and interesting and funny and like, oh, look at us, we're secretive, but like, who gives a fuck? I didn't make an oath. I'll tell you the secrets. There is no secrets. That's the first secret. There's no secrets. There's no such thing as a secret. Is if you know about it, it's not a secret. It's impossible. Secrets can only be held from you. Not you can't hold one. That's a secret. And any Mason will tell you that too. You ask a Mason, what's the biggest secret? There are none. That's the biggest secret. You're not looking at the right places. There's no secret. Dream states. Before you sleep, start like saying to yourself, I wish to connect and know why. Start proclaiming that you want to connect with Lilith and that you want to know why she's trying to connect with you, because that could have something to do with your astrological chart where your Lilith is placement. So she could be trying to help you with that, or some other ways. I've had dreams with Lilith before, and they were very interesting. Well, you have a good day too. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. Your Lilith and Taurus. You might want to look that up. Look up your Lilith and also your what is it? What is it called? Your white moon? Your celestial moon? Is that what it's called? Because those two will help you out a lot. But looking those up are very important for your charts. Unfortunately, I don't know much about Lilith placements either. But you can Google them. That's the one thing, like, I'm still learning astrology. I don't know it into the depths of that, but I know it enough to read someone's, like, natal, like, their chart, enough from, like, the houses and the planets. I know it to that point. When you're messing with Chiron, the different asteroids and the moons and Lilith and them, hands are up. I'm not too knowledgeable about that. That's what I'm still learning. But you can definitely do a quick Google search on those and seeing about that and just going down that pipeline if you're interested for that. But yeah, I had my chart read, so I've been working a lot with my Lilith, which is really funny because my Lilith involves my business, which is really funny knowing how people respond to me and how people come at me and say I don't know much because of my age. That's my Lilith placement acting up. So literally when you see people come in here and troll and try and like get under my skin and yell at me and say all sorts of weird shit, that's my Lilith placement acting up. That's actually what's going on. And that's why I don't care about it anymore. That's why it doesn't bother me, because when I figured that out, I was like, oh, so these people are literally just becoming attracted to me because I'm trying to heal that part of me that feels restricted from like a masculine force, whether the person coming in is man or female, but that that force being pushed onto me, from keeping me from doing what I need to do. Like, okay, cool. That's all I'm worried about. I'll just work through that then. It's whatever. But I do attract a lot of jealousy because of my Lilith placement as well. Because of where it's at and how it's located, I attract a lot of jealous people. I attract a lot of people that want to yell and argue. I just attract those types of people, and that is perfectly fine. I attract a lot more of the other type. I attract a lot more of y'all who are acceptable and willing to learn, and we talk about things, and we have beautiful proverbations, and we exchange ideas, and then we have the offhands that come through. So that's all I know about my Lilith. Which is super funny because every like every one of the people that have been mean to me in real life about what I do has been a female. When it comes down to a Lilith placement, it was first my sister, and then it was my first roommate, and then it was my second roommate and one of my roommate's girlfriends, and then it was the random trans girl that my roommate was dating, in my last situation, and like, I don't like what's going on. Am I too feminine for like the feminine energy to like or something? Because I am a very feminine energy male when it comes down to the basis of it. I accept that it's whatever. It's just how I am, right? My polarity is matched 50-50. I'm literally split down the middle between being feminine and masculine. I just give off more feminine. I don't know why. So I don't know if that energy like issue happens where I just meet a bunch of masculine traded females or what, but that's just what's going on in life. And I think it's really fucking funny. The more it happens, the funnier it gets because the more I get to really like work with my loath placement and figure out what I can do to subside those effects. You work not really. I've done okay, actually I take that back. There have been a few times where I've worked with Metatron. It's been more in the spiritual courts, but I haven't really worked with Metatron one-on-one. And yeah, I radiate the feminine energy. It's just what I do. It's hilarious. I'm a masculine sign. I'm Libra. I'm masculine there. I'm split 50-50, but I give more feminine out. And I think that's just because I'm born male. So in order to balance out that type of thing, I would have to extrude more of a feminine nature, which is completely fine. Like, I'd rather be a male that can love people and be very in my feminine nature and be okay with that to help other men know that they can do that too, rather than being in a toxic energy, whether feminine or masculine, however, rather than being extremely toxic on one of those scales. I'd rather just, like, what's my Mars? I don't know off the top of my head. I do not know off the top of my head. I have a book with, I'm not even going to touch that book actually. I have to do something with that book. Actually, I'll show you all because it's a really fucking funny thing. So back in the day, I used to be a really, really, really big demon hunter. And this page is completely protected, so don't worry about, looking at it. I've literally I've drew so many sigils on this shit, front and back, to keep this shit protected. But in this book, on the last page, it was my demon hunting log. And look how fucked up the book is on the back. It's falling apart on the back. And I was going deep on something because I needed to exercise someone. And literally the entire back half of this book is just falling apart because of it. I fuck with that shit. Like I am in the depth. I fuck with the goobs and the goblins heavily. I'll go down in there and see what's going on. But I love it because every time I mess with something of that nature, there's always physical proof of yeah, this stuff's actually gonna happen. Like this shit's real. And I know the protection and stuff. I know my sigils. I know my protection stuff. I've done so much stuff to that book that it's unbelievable. But it's falling apart because of everything that happens in it. Yeah, human design and gene keys. I have those written down in that book on a safer page, obviously. I don't know what they mean. And I'm learning how to read them because it's very interesting. I had the human design app, and that's how I got all the information. But when I bought it, I was just buying it to write that information down so I wouldn't have to worry about it again. And I don't remember what any of it means. So I have it, but I just don't know what it is. Yeah, that's the next level with human design. But it's super interesting to delve into. It really is. I don't know. I have all sorts of stuff, man. I have in this book, I have the angels with represented by their zodiac signs. I have the Egyptian astrology in here. I got all sorts of stuff. I even have their seals. I even have the zodiac with their angels and their seals and their name written in Hebrew, both in the Hebrewic language and with the vowels. So I love knowing all sorts of stuff. This stuff's so cool. I can show it because this page is good and safe. I can't show I really won't be able to show any other page of this book except for this one probably. but it has literally every single one of them. The angels, the seals, everything. I love doing this shit. This is literally all I do. I write down languages. I make I love doing this shit, bro. It's so fun. Especially when you're like respected enough to know this stuff. Like, not many people do Enochian magic. Enochian magic is like a selected thing. Like, you don't just jump into it. You're chosen for it. It's working super close with the angels. We're talking about you can actually like invoke and have permission to summon at times for specific reasons, summoning them and then having them do things. Like, it's not something that you just jump into, and I get to do that, and that's super fucking cool. I like that's I mean, and they've been really pushing me to do it, which is why I'm offering the court thing, because like I won't show fully, but I can show one of the sigils I have. Like, whose sigil is that? That's the Poyel. Yeah, this is my Poyel. So, like, this is my Poyel sigil, right? It has, like, the whole thing on it, and on the back, it has, like, a little script to read. But, like, when I do the spiritual court things, I write, like, a 2-page petition. One page is front and back, and the other page is just the front. And then I draw a sigil on the back. And then that's, like, part of the ritual. But, like, I send that to the spiritual courts directly, using the Enochian alphabet to write the stuff in, and that's as far as I can tell you, as far as I'm able to like explain without going into full detail of how I do things. But I do that, and it works, and it's amazing. It's so beautiful to be able to work with the angels like that. It is so beautiful to work with the angels. It really is. It can get very Lovecraftian super quick. I have seen things that I don't want to ever see again. Not that they're bad or evil. They just scared the shit out of me, and I want to not be scared when I see them. um, but the recent thing, the most recent thing I've seen is like a 12-foot angelic being with 2 halos. One of them's a square, that's inside of a circular halo. It's 12 feet tall, completely golden, has 30 wings, and it's like engulfed in this like light purple flame. And it speaks in a polyphonic voice. It has a male voice, a female voice, and like a really whispery, like gnarly voice. And it like that's the last thing I've seen working with Enochian magic, and it's been really blissful. Like, I don't know its name, it has not told me yet, but it is one of the most helpful little beings that I've bumped into recently. I will not lie. It used to terrify me when I first seen it, but I've gotten used to it. I've seen it in my dreams. I've seen it in my mirror. I've seen all sorts of shit with it. I think it's trying to like connect with me on a deeper level, which is very nice. But it is a interesting path to go down, because working with your angels is one thing. Enochian magic, that's a ball game on its own. Those that work with Enochian magic or know about what it is, it's a whole other game field. It is not like anything else. Like, you can literally, like, there are things within Enochian magic that you can find lost people within a certain amount of time. Like, if someone goes missing, like an Amber Alert, you'll be able to find them within a certain amount of time doing Enochian magic. It takes a few days to set up the stuff, but you can do it. You can control the weather. You can move birds. You can summon flames. You can end people. You can protect people from death. You can do all sorts of shit. But again, it's the reason why you can do those things is it's a chosen thing. It's not that you just get to go around and do these things. You literally are chosen for it by like the heavens. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I test every spirit. Don't even worry. I make sure. I truly, I like you. You trust me. I'm an exorcist. I do a lot. Okay, I can't put a label on me. But I know how to do exorcisms, and I used to do them a lot. I haven't done any like in person yet, unfortunately, but I've done them in various different ways. Um, but I've done things. But Enochian magic is just something so beautiful. Like, it's something I really wish everyone could experience, but at the same time, not everyone is ready for it. Not everyone's ready for it. You can fuck up people really bad with this stuff. It is like, it is terrifying. I will say that it is very terrifying. But luckily, there are people who know how to do it for good, and there are some people that do it for bad. Unfortunately, for the ones that do it for bad, they are not going to have a very fun life at all when it comes to spirit realm. Because you have to have some damn good reasons. It cannot be because you want it to or someone else is doing it. It has to be for a full-on reason. Like, you will most likely be contacted. Yeah, it has to be for a very good reason. You will most likely be contacted by an angelic being to do it, basically. If so, right? It's not something that you get to decide to do. And even then, the thing that I'm doing with the spiritual court, I didn't just make that up. I just now was told to do those things. I was given an instruction of how to do it and everything. And it's like, it wasn't just something that I thought I could put together. I would have never thought about doing it. It was genuinely like, it was like, hey, your friend needs to get a job here soon, and you're talking to them, and you said you're gonna help them, so you do this, and they'll see how that works. And I did that, and then I did another one for another friend recently, and I got some crazy ass information about who's been doing what to him and stuff. Like, this stuff is like, I love it. I love doing this stuff so much. Oh yeah, exactly. Obey and you can't go wrong. Oh no. Oh no, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. It is terrifying. You don't trust me. You until you can truly look at an angel in its complete raw form, not covering itself up in any means necessary. You cannot say it's not terrifying. I have seen things that have like given me a little bit of nightmares. Trust me. Some of these beings that we call on as angels would probably make you never want to see an angel again. They are not always the prettiest. And despite the fact of them trying not to scare you, you might get scared. It is not for the meek. It's not. I have seen things that I don't want to ever see again. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to see them at some time again. It's just up for me to get used to it. But then again, I've done Solomonic magic, so I know how scary shit can get. So it's you really like you have to be built for it. Like even then, people who work with angels, it's like even the forms that those show up then are terrifying. Seeing Ezekiel's wheel, because people can do that without even messing with Enochian magic. Just seeing Ezekiel's wheel is terrifying at first. Like it's a blissful feeling. You feel very light and happy, but you're mortified at the same time because it's like, I'm actually gonna die. This is it, because I shouldn't be seeing you right now. I should not be able to see you. Like, I don't know, man. It's interested. Well, you're lucky, because they will reveal themselves to me in forms that I'm not ready for sometimes, and it gets me. It doesn't, and the thing is, I'm good at it, so I'm good at like keeping composure, so I'm not like disrupting anything I'm doing, but my brain will shut down for a second, and I'll have to like recuperate, because it's like, what the fuck am I actually like? What am I looking at? What am I dead? Am I alive? I feel good. I feel fine. I'm just mortified. I can't. When you're when you're doing the stuff that I'm doing, it's not that you can just ask them not to do that. They're trying to show you their full form for that reason. Like, there are ways to be able to see God's face while living. There's ways of seeing angels in full form while living without being sent to judgment or death with what I'm doing. And they get pretty fucking close to their full form. You do Enochian magic? Because that's what I'm talking about. You do Enochian magic? Because I'm not talking about working with angels. That's different. I'm talking about Enochian magic. Are those angels from this planet? No. They are from all over. No, we're not the same. We're not the same. You're not doing what I'm doing. You think you know what you're talking about when it comes to what I'm saying. You don't. No, you're not doing what I'm doing then. This is a specific practice. You're not messing with the Selm realm. Like I can see where you're coming from, but you're not messing with what I'm messing with. Trust me. Trust me on that. You can ask anyone that actually does Enochian magic. It's not the same. It doesn't matter if you do all magic. It does not matter if you say you don't label it. You're not doing Enochian magic, because by the way you're describing it, you're not. Coming from someone that does it, you're not. Trust me. It doesn't matter what you are. I'm telling you right now, from someone who is and does these things, you're not it. Like it might feel like you might know, you don't. It's one of those things that you are not like able to get. You might be the most powerful person in the world, but until you are chosen to do certain things, you won't know. Like it is Enochian magic. It's the Book of Enoch. It's what basically Enochian magic roots from where the Book of Enoch is. It's being able to see things that the mortals in this realm are not able to see. Again, like everything you're saying has nothing to do with what I'm saying. We're not on the same page. You do not know what I'm doing. It's not it. Everything you're saying does not relate. I'm telling you tenfold. Everyone's roots are from Elohim. We're all born from Elohim, from the Creator, from the one above, from the most high, L1, L. We're all from them. I'm telling you though, you do not know what I'm talking about when it comes down to the bottom of it. The fact that you didn't even say that you do Enochian magic and you just say you don't label it proved it to me. But Enochian magic, it roots in the Book of Enoch, but it also messes a lot with Solomonic magic. So Solomon and Enoch and all of them, it's basically every one of their lives put together. All of their practices put together, all of their seals, all of their sigils, knowing how to trap, bind, and release angels, knowing how to, and it's all working with the angels. And it's not just angels that are your archangels. We are talking about the wheels. We are talking about the seraphims, the cherubims, the orphans, the right hands of God that we're messing with. So we're not the same. You can keep saying all that stuff if you want. You're not it. It's okay. I'm just gonna like ignore your existence now, because you're just not getting it, and that's perfectly fine. But you're not getting it. You really aren't. Because here's the thing. You just said if something's gonna harm you, you're not gonna see it. That's why you're not getting what I'm saying. First off and foremost, these angels do not give a fuck. We're talking about planetary systems. We're talking about literal seals of like Jupiter and Saturn and calling upon those angels. And then the angels from outside of this galaxy. It's a whole thing. And again, you're missing the whole point again. So I'm just going to continue to ignore what you're saying. How was my day today? Very religious. Today's been very religious. We had someone, it's been kind of funny, but we had someone come in and start yelling at me about the Bible when I wasn't even talking about the Bible. And then I tried to teach them about the Bible, and then they got mad at me. And that was interesting. But it's been eventful. It's been pretty good. It's been very weird. They came in about the Bible because we were talking about Egypt, actually. we were talking. Someone asked me a question of like how to is there like a specific way to contact the Egyptian gods and goddesses, and like how is there like a specific planet that relates with them? And I was explaining that to them, and then the dude just came in and said, he said something about like if Egypt was overthrown, so God could beat any Egyptian god any day. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like the Egypt was overruled by the by the Jews by the time of that happening in the Bible. The Pharaoh were Jews in that time, and the peasants were the Egyptians because they were ruled under a higher order. This happened around the time of Little Egypt being taken over, and he was like, no, you're wrong. And I was like, okay, I'm wrong. I'll keep it that way. I like being wrong. Prove me right. Prove me wrong, please. I want to be educated. That's the whole point. I want to be educated. And then he started saying Jesus is God, and I was like, you can't say that. And then talking about Paul and Saul and Jacob and John, and it got all over the place, bro. It was crazy. I don't know. I'd probably test that spirit because I don't know you if we're related about blood. I don't know about that. But if that's what you heard, then kudos to you. But I don't know. Me personally, no idea. It was interesting. Yeah, I want to have like a spiritual retreat experience. That's like that's the one thing I kind of want to do on the whole journey that I've been on, is go have like a spiritual retreat and have an experience there. Other than that, I don't want to do anything else. Like I'm fine with where I'm at. I want to go like to that one place, I think it's in India or Dubai. I do need a vacation, I'm telling you. What the hell is it called? The Gates of Heaven? Where is it at? It's in Bali, isn't it? Yeah, I want to go there. I want to go to the Gates of Heaven in Bali. I've always felt called to go there. I have always been called to go there, and I just never have. Yet. Haven't gone there yet. We gotta keep that hope up. Yeah, I want to go to Bali so bad. Bali, India. I want to go to India just regardless. Like, if I go to India, I'm just gonna get the food. I'm gonna eat the food. I might get like what is it? A tea leaf reading, or like one of those. Tea leaf reading is where they stick your thumb on the. They like read your thumbprint. Yeah, that is it. So one of those. I want to do those. I want to do all sorts of shit. I just do. It's just interesting things like that. But what I need to do is go to Bali so I can see the Gates of Heaven. That's all I need to truly do. That and go to Egypt. I need to go to Egypt. I need to go to Bali. Those are the only two places that I actually need to go to. Those are like the two places I'm like called heavily to go to. Other than that, I ain't got nothing else. And I know why I'm being called to go to Egypt. I've been called to go there since I was a child. Literally, when I used to do shrooms, I would always literally break out into a whole I've already done a lot of it with my Hebrew power. The only thing in Hebrew that I don't know is the language. Everything else I do. Like, I write most of my sigils in Hebrew. Like, like shit. Like, I mean, there's one right there. That one's for Saturn. There's a Saturn sigil if you want to screenshot that. Be careful when using it. Be careful when using it. But there's one for you. Oh no, you can do way more stronger magic than that. Trust me. Trust me. Hebrew's the strongest westernized form of magic that you can do. I'll leave it like that. There are so many much things that are stronger than Hebrew. And there's even a reason why Hebrew is so strong in the first place, but I don't want to get into that right now. But it's really not as strong as people think it is. It is very strong, for sure. It really will get things moving. But there are much more insane ways of working with things that are still working within like the realm of like angels and gods of higher vibration rather than lower vibration. Jesus is Lord, Lucifer? Jesus is king, bro. Are they overlapping? They are overlapping. That's unfortunate. Everything is connected to source, so it's less that the easiest way is through source where everything is connected and comes from source. It's just you. It's the individual at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with what comes before it, because what comes before it is always happening eternal. What's changing that is in the present, which is the physical, the you, the flesh. Why is today my religion day? Is that just what I'm attracting because of all the Enochian stuff? Is just the religion day stuff? I'm cool with it. I don't mind. But goodness. I'm not a religious teacher, y'all. I'm teaching them everything, but we talk about religion a lot already. God is always. What do you listen? We're two different things. God always speaks to everyone. We have two different overstandings of this. You might have an understanding, I have an overstanding of these things. It's okay. I know who God is. I know who my creator is. I know all these things. I know what's going on. I don't need anyone else telling me what's going on. Trust me. I do not. Trust me. I really don't. You do not know who you're talking to when it comes down to this stuff. I don't need anyone screaming at me saying God's talking to me. No shit, I know this. It's all the time happening. Every second of every day. It's always happening. I don't need no one telling me that. I don't know too much about the Tree of Life and its Sirius star system connections. I have to look into that. Because I always ask why. That's the one question that anyone can ask and answer at the same time by themselves. So I always ask out loud why. I'm a dual operating system. I have an internal and an external. If I say something out loud, I'm probably just talking to myself. Even right now, I'm talking to my phone, which is just myself. I don't see any of you, so I'm talking to myself. I get it inside of my brain. It then transfigures and everything works in that sense. I don't need an answer externally unless I ask for one. If I'm saying it out loud, it's because I'm internalizing what I'm saying. I'm a conscious being. I'm not like the rest. Trust me. See, that's the thing. You don't know me. So you're just getting confused by who I am. You don't know how I operate. You don't know me. We are not connected as much as you would like to think. We're not as connected as you think. I'm not like the rest. I have had a interesting bring up, and the way that I work is completely different. I don't have an aggression. I'm just telling you, face value, what's going on. There's no aggression. The only issue is the internalization of you feeling that way and taking it as aggression. That's not me. That's all on you. I just know what I've gone through. I know my life. I don't need people telling me about my life. I don't need people trying to tell me what's going on in my life. I know what's going on. If I need that advice or that help, I'd ask. Trust me. It's a boundary that I have, and I very much make it clear. If that's aggression to you, don't push the boundary, unfortunately. No, you're just gonna rebuke my barrier? That's wild. God's gonna talk to you about that one. Talk about God talking to people. Oh my God. You can't be rebuking my barriers. What the hell wrong with you? That's wild. That's self-deflection right there, though. I don't really care. That, see, was that Mount Lilith? I'm not even gonna worry about it. It's whatever. I just after talking about Mount Lilith placement, then they pop. Bada bing, bada boom. Who's messaging me? Why are, it's happening again? Oh, wait, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock. Oh, so people just message me at 1 o'clock. That's what's up. It's just how it be. Hopefully everyone's having a fun time today. I am. I'm killing time. I have to kill time until, well, I say kill. I don't have anything to spend it on other than spending it here. I have like another, like, 30 minutes-ish I can, like, waste before I just have to start doing something else. Ugh. And then that's going to be fun to work on because I'll have, like, an hour break. Someone has an image issue. Someone has issues looking at themselves in the mirror. Coming in here and talking about someone else's appearance is wild. You should probably go fix your own issues, dog. That had nothing to do with being everything to do with you. That's really unfortunate. But I'm not going to help you with that issue. You can go help yourself with that. Oh, hell yeah. He officially got the job. So that makes it even better. Okay. I can now promote it for a third time. If you all are looking for spiritual court communication, to break things off of yourself, go hit me up for it. The new way I'm doing it actually it full on works. I literally just now got confirmation of that. My friend officially got their job after I did a ritual for them like 2 days ago. So yeah, that officially works. I'm happy. I'm glad. I just listened. I listened and I got the thing. Yeah, people. See, this is the thing. It's because Saturn's out. Venus is in retrograde. I'm about to start working with Saturn. So this is my test. Can I withstand people coming in here acting like a fool? I can. Now leave me alone. Cause you better give me what I want. Is what I'm gonna say. Put me through all this shenanigans, testing to see what I can do and how I'm gonna feel. I better get what I want from this. I'm blaming Saturn. I really am blaming Saturn because this is a Saturn sigil. I'm literally about to go do something and do some work with Saturn after this stream. So of course I'm going to be tested to my might today. Like, it's just kind of how it is. I didn't expect it to be a religious thing though. That was an interesting turn of events. But Saturn's putting his foot up my ass. I better get what I want. I'm serious, yo. You put me to the test, and I'm handling it very well. A lot better than I ever would. I'm laughing about shit. I better get double for my trouble. I swear. I think it's funny though. I really do. That's something that you have to look out for as well. If you start working with like the planetary systems, they will test you on what they're built off of tenfold. So yeah, just be aware of that. I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I really do. I really do. I can't. I really cannot get mad. I don't know. Like, I know what it is, but I like to say I don't know because human curiosity is one of the most beautiful things on earth. Anyway, I just don't get. I can't get mad anymore. I used to get really mad. I used to get flustered. I can't. I just get really confused or very blunt. I can't. I can't force. I can't get angry. I don't know. I love it. It's weird. I mean, it's not really an unnatural feeling or however, but like, it's just weird. Because I would have been mad. I would have been mad by now. I would have been like, man, I get off stream. I hate this shit. But no, I'm okay. I like it. Not that I like it. It's fun. Life. That's just life in a nutshell, though. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I gotta do all sorts of stuff. And my hands are cold. And I'm not wanting to turn on the heat. And that's the most of my problems today. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing. I'll take it. Grand afternoon. Welcome in. Topic for today? Apparently it's religion. It's God. It's angels. That's the topic. That's all I've been talking about today. That's all it is. And trees. We talked about trees. That's the topic. That's what we've been doing. It is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It is very awesome. I don't have a complaint. I didn't expect that to be the topic today. It usually isn't. And every time it's the topic, or at least every time so far, it's led to someone yelling at me in the chat. So we're on par. I pulled an animal card for someone. I finished a slideshow for the tarot class. It's been an eventful day. Yeah. I've been trying to promote my new service, but I don't know how to do that right now. So I'm just kind of waiting on information to do that. But regardless, that's what's up. Let's see. Damn! 200 minutes? That's long. It's the longest stream I've ever had. This is the longest stream I've had so far. In a while. Oh my god, in a while. Yeah, we were talking about that. We were talking about connecting with trees and what the benefits of hugging trees are and things of that nature, like having a tree, and their protective nature, building a relationship with them, and things of that nature. We were talking a lot about that. And I gave advice on what you could do, like leaving offerings, cleaning up the area around the tree, either pouring water or giving it saliva and stuff. Well, it's been a very good day. I cannot complain at all. I can't. I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do a reading today or something. I might not. I don't know. I'll do something. I'll figure it out. I don't have to worry about it right now. I got time. And today's gone by so slow as well. Like, my phone's on 20%. Awesome. Uh-oh. I see that. What's that? Okay. So yeah. I'll figure out a video for today or something later. But yeah, I'm probably gonna head off and get some rest in. Not like sleep, but just like relaxation before I go and do what I have to do. And then I'll find a way to promote the thingy. That's what I'll do today. I'll do that. Anyway, I'll be back later tonight with the stream. I know I said that yesterday, but I got busy. Something hit me left field, and it just happens like that. But I'll be back later today. We'll hit it up. You know, more questions, more teachings, more whatever happens in the chat. But regardless, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna post this one more time before I leave out of here. But thank you all so much for being here. I love each and every one of you to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. Thanks for hanging out, being around, and I will see you all later.